You are now listening to Nostalgia Untitled.
Come hang out with us as we travel back in time.
You know your history.
To the 90s and 2000s. The memories.
I'm True.
And I'm AJ.
Stick around while we talk about some of our old school favorite classics.
Now let's get nostalgic up in here. Welcome back to Nostalgia Untitled. Hey, True, can you believe that this is our 4th episode already?
That's crazy to me, honestly. I mean, it's a good thing for sure. It just doesn't feel like that. I feel like we talk enough where sometimes I'm just like, what are we doing right now? This is business. This is like, we're doing the thing. We're doing the thing. Okay.
This is such a wild concept. We actually have a podcast. That's
Yeah,
like so.
yeah.
Isn't that fun?
It's
Isn't that
you
dope?
know. Side note, you ever like watch like on like TikTok and things like that where you see other people have like their podcasts and things like that, and like sometimes I look at that and I'm like, holy shit, is that us? Like, are we them? Are we those bitches with fucking podcasts?
Pretty soon we may record together. So like that'd be fun.
I think
when
so.
You make it to LA.
I would love to do that. Hey, fly me out.
Fly you out. You fly yourself out. I am not your dude. You you better start swiping on Tinder in California.
Change the settings.
Yeah.
Be like, fly me out to California.
Yeah. But anyway, before we start like getting into topics and things, like how are you?
Honestly, I'm doing pretty good. I feel like there's a shift in the universe, a shift in energy, where everything is happening the way that it should be. Everything is moving in the direction that it should.
Yeah. Like what does that mean?
What
everything is moving in the direction that it should.
Sometimes you just need to get rid of the dead weight. And I feel like I did that a couple weeks ago, and although it sucked and it hurt to kind of have that change happen, it was for the better, and I am surrounded by people who believe in me, who support me, who want to see me succeed, and it's just really nice to know that you have people that are actually rooting for you, and when they see you doubting yourself, they're like, what are you, literally I've had these people be like, what are you doing? You know how to do this. Why are you doubting yourself? And I'm just like, oh, it's nice, it's scary, it's weird, but I'm here for it. It's really nice.
Hey.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I'm happy for you. You know me. I'm one of your friends that's always rooting for you.
Yeah.
Your big head ass.
Baboso.
Yep.
Bullying me and shit. It's too early for you to be bullying me. I haven't even said anything.
Is it?
Oh my God. Wait. Side note. Did you see? Talking about bullying. You didn't say anything to the thing I sent you. You like posted you posted about you being with horses, and I was like, oh my God, twins! You guys look alike. How cute!
Oh.
And I was like, I just think I'm like the funniest person in the world, and I was like, you must have not seen it because you would have said something. I know you would have said something if you would have seen it. I love myself. I love me.
Because I definitely would have said, let's measure faces.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Hi, True. Are you going to ask me how I'm doing?
I mean, I guess. Jeez.
Oh, God.
Get over yourself already. Jeez. I guess. How are you,
AJ?
How are you? How have you been?
Thank you for asking. It was amazing. I actually had an interesting week, a different health-related things. I had an allergy test this week, which was interesting.
Yikes. People still get allergic to
I'm allergic to you all the time.
Bubbles.
But like I had to take an allergy test because I was like having like issues with like skin irritation and like me eating things just randomly and then like me breaking out or like me getting bloated or whatever. And so I took an allergy test to figure out what I'm allergic to, and come to find out I'm like severely allergic to grass.
What the fuck?
A lot of grasses. I still have like the way they pinned me on the test. I still have like irritation on my arm from like when they did it. Yeah, and I thought my whole life, well not my whole life, but since I was like 13 or 14, I thought I was allergic to bananas. So I haven't really ate bananas more than half my life because I had a reaction and my throat was itchy and like I thought it was closing up and everything. And so I really haven't had bananas going on like 17, 18 years. And so she told me, she was like, well, you're not allergic to bananas. That's a good thing. But you're allergic to the pollen that may be related to a banana. So sometimes you may have reactions. But she was like, I can reintroduce banana into my life. So I bought a stock of bananas and I've been trying to reintroduce it. My mouth still is a little bit itchy, but like, it's interesting. Like, I actually don't mind a banana. I forgot what bananas really taste like.
Bro, I love me a banana. Like, so for me, before I go to the gym, I like to have like a little protein bar, like a protein shake. But I don't know what it was, but for like a week, I had bought like a stack of bananas to have before going into the gym. And now like when I eat a protein bar or like drink a protein shake, I like have to force myself to drink it because I'm like, bitch, I just want my banana. Give me my banana. That's all I need. You know what I'm saying? I love me a good banana.
I never, like I told you, I haven't had one in forever, so I've been reintroducing it into my life, man.
It'll be good for you. It'll be good for you. You can put it in all sorts of
like
things.
In the morning.
Mm-hmm.
In the morning, it's easier for me because like normally I cook full breakfast. I make an American breakfast, so I always have like a carb, a meat, and then at least 3 to 4 eggs. So it's always been like my life. Yeah. So like it'd be good to like wake up and be a little bit healthier and choose a banana.
Make a banana.
And maybe get like I got to get another blender. My boyfriend broke my blender, so that's the whole thing. But,
wait, if I'm not mistaken though, before we Beyonce.
Oh yeah, of course I have to talk about that. Yeah, I saw the one, the only Beyonce. It was amazing. I wish
our listeners could like see your face right now. You're like glowing talking about this.
Because I've seen her before. I saw her back in 2016, 2017 for the Formation tour. That was amazing already. But to see this one was even better.
Yeah.
Like she topped herself with this one. And she was singing to the very top of her lungs, and so was I. I was having such a good time. I had a good time. I remember I was like in front of these people because I was at like the balcony part of the 3rd level. And so I was in the front, so nobody was in front of me. So I was having a ball and like just dancing and having a good time. At the end of the show, they were like these people that were behind us. Hi, people, if you hear us or you listen to us eventually one day. But they were like, oh my God, we enjoyed the show, but we also enjoyed you watching the show. And so it was like, because I know all Beyonce songs. Like I feel like a lot of people don't know like the deep cuts of her music, and so like they don't know, they only know like the hits. So for me, when she sings like "I'd Rather Die Young," I'm like, I know that song. You know what I mean? Or she plays any of her stuff from 4. I know those songs.
Yeah,
I know every song.
You're literally saying, "I want to die young," and I'm like, what song is that? And I like Beyonce. I like her.
I'd rather die young.
There you go. Either way, see, that's what I'm saying.
Such a great album. Actually, you probably like 4 because 4 is like maybe one of her most vulnerable albums. Mm-hmm. It's good, and she like was in the middle of like having Blue at the time, and Blue Ivy was dancing in the concert. Like I remember when she was like being announced on Love on Top at the MTV Awards. That's a nostalgia take, but like I remember that, and now she's dancing like she's full out dancing on stage with her mom, and that was like amazing to see.
I love that.
I
love that.
It was I can't express the love that she showed the LGBTQIA community. I can't express the love that she showed ballroom community. I can't express like she did it right, and she's a real ally, and that's why I love Beyonce. Yeah, that's why.
Little token to Beyonce. We love you, girl.
Yep. But to talk about another thing that I love, of course, you know I love me a good comedy, and one of my favorite comics and my favorite comedians of all time is Chris Tucker. One of my favorite action stars of all time is Jackie Chan, and they met in this movie franchise, which is Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3.
Rush Hour. You know, when you said that you wanted to do a podcast on the Rush Hour franchise, I can genuinely say this was one of the movies that I was transported to my childhood. Because the way my father would fucking play out these films, the way he would play out these films. And I enjoy them. Like, I genuinely enjoy, 1 and 2, I genuinely enjoy.
We'll talk about 3. We'll talk about 3 a little later. But 1 and 2 are amazing. And it's, for me, the same thing. It kind of like builds this sense of nostalgia of like me watching it with my mom and my dad, and like us watching it and just laughing. And I still watch it all the time to this day. My boyfriend kind of gets annoyed with me because I watch it literally all the time, and now it's on Netflix, and now I watch it literally all the time. And so
Listen,
it's
you
one of my
like what you
comfort
like.
movies. They're my comfort movies, and I think underrated. Like Chris Tucker is one of the most talented comedians, and improv comedians of all time. And I'm not afraid to say that. Drop a bomb on that.
No,
But-
for me, I think my dad, like don't get me wrong, Chris Tucker was great, but I also know that my dad had a soft spot for Jackie Chan. A lot of Jackie Chan's movies growing up were playing on constant loop. Sometimes he would like play the movie, he'd sit on the couch and like fall, like you could hear him snoring, and then you'd go to change it, and he'd be like, I was watching that, and it's like, my guy, no, you wasn't, and it'd always be a Jackie Chan fucking film, and I'm like, bro. Okay.
But if you're not familiar with the series, so the series is an action comedy movie that stars like Chris Tucker, Jackie Chan, and Chris Tucker as Detective James Carter, and Jackie Chan as Chief Inspector Lee, and they're two cops from like opposite sides of the world, and they end up in like this unusual circumstance. Jackie Chan's character, Chief Inspector Lee, coming to America to help with the consulate, and James Carter being a detective and like wanting to prove himself as a cop, and these two cops from the opposite sides of the world who end up like, it's such an interesting circumstance where the consulate's daughter gets kidnapped, and Jackie Chan's character is supposed to be taken care of or babysitted by Chris Tucker's character, and so like you get like a lot of banter, you get like a lot of cultural differences between like the black community and the Asian community. You get a lot of like jokes, serious moments too, because it is like a moment where like the little girl gets kidnapped, and you see like the love that Jackie Chan and the relationship that he has with the girl that he's supposed to be protecting. And then you see Chris Tucker's character try to prove himself to be more than just like a fuck up detective, but more of like taken serious.
Yeah.
As he wants to be taken serious, even though he's the most unserious person in the entire world.
In the entire franchise, like, let's be so for real.
No. So you said you've seen Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3.
Oh.
What's like some of your favorite moments from the first two? But we can talk about 3 too.
So in the first one, oh, when you walk by every night. Oh, that one is just, she was just so cute. Just like, I mean, I know it doesn't, it's just, that's every time I think of Rush Hour, like I remember it introduced me to that song. It introduced me to
Mariah
that song.
Carey.
And
one
like,
and only.
that's the only reason why I know that song is because of that one scene. And for Rush Hour 2, do you remember it's the scene where they're like in the massage parlor? And Chris Tucker's character sees Ricky Tan. He's like, he's just one fucking little shit man. Let's go.
Yeah.
And he tries to act like the big dog, and he goes, and immediately he gets swarmed by all of like this man's like crew, and he's just like, why the fuck didn't you tell me? And then immediately chaos ensues.
Which is also really, really smart, because it's also a reference from the first film when they had like that fight scene above in like the China restaurant, and like he was like, which one of y'all kicked me? And then so it's like a referential. It's like the second one references the first one a lot, and so that part where like that he goes up to Ricky Tan and like smashes his computer, and like, get your ass up and come with me, and then like all those guys surround him, and then they end up fighting again. Like it was so good, and they end up like getting stripped naked, like walking down the hall, walking on the highway.
Yeah.
This movie
when
is hilarious.
When they make it back to the police station, and everyone just kind of like whistling at them, and it's just like, what's going on, bro?
To go back to the Mariah Carey moment, I think that's probably like the first time I always knew who Mariah Carey was, because like When You Believe and like all of this other things, but like I feel like it really like sparked my Mariah Carey bug. And as you know, I have a Mariah Carey. I'm a lamb, so I have.
You're obsessed.
I love Mariah Carey. Yeah, I love Mariah Carey. She's amazing. I actually saw her this summer, which was great.
You know, I don't understand it, but I respect it. You know what I'm saying?
You don't understand it because
but I respect it.
I told you you don't have any taste. But
how dare you? How dare you? I got plenty taste. Okay.
Do you? So,
like I said, I may not understand it, but I respect it. Respect being the operative word, Baboso.
All right.
Yeah.
The perfect movies, like
what are your favorite moments?
What are some of my favorite moments?
Yeah.
Some of my favorite moments, like you said, the massage parlor scene, the China restaurant scene. I like when they go.
Wait, but when you say the China restaurant scene, what do you mean? You need to elaborate a little bit.
Oh, like I said, where they were like fighting at the top of the the
In reference
China
to the
restaurant
first
when-
one?
Yeah, when he was trying to find,
because the
when he was
massage
trying to
parlor
find-
is in the second one, guys.
Yes.
But the restaurant was in the first.
They're trying to find the main villain who kidnapped the little girl, and so they try to find her. He also has like C4 and everything. It was like a whole thing, and they get confronted by a bunch of people. So that's crazy. So it's a lot that goes on in the first movie. So so there's bombs, there's explosions from like the very beginning. Sang, or you know what I mean, where he was like, "You're bleeding." The dude with like the blonde hair, his name is Sang. Yeah. Also, I found him so hot growing up.
Of course
He was
did.
so hot. Yeah.
Do you
I'm a sucker.
remember? In the second one, what was that girl's name? The one that Chris Tucker's character kept like trying to flirt with, and she was essentially like one of the bad guys.
Oh yeah, that's
And like towards the end, he has the.
She has a bomb strapped to her chest and she explodes above the casino.
Well,
yeah.
In the second one, he has to go like toe to toe with her, and
Yeah,
he kicks her ass, and then he's like, "We could have been great together."
Yeah,
This
yeah.
whole like that dynamic of like, bro, she wants nothing to do with you, but he's like, just let me fucking love you. I ate that up.
But Detective Carter he's so unserious the entire movie. Like even in the most serious moments, he's so unserious.
The karaoke
And so-
scene
Yeah,
where
like
he's like singing.
Yeah, and it was just so funny because he actually got to meet Michael Jackson because of those films. Because he kept like Chris Tucker references Michael Jackson a lot in like a lot of his characters that he does, and so it was like really funny. So like when he kicks his leg, he kicks the wrong leg that Michael Jackson always like used to make fun of. And like he spins around and like he does like his best Michael Jackson impression. That's probably one of my favorite scenes. Also, one of my other favorite scenes from this movie is from the second one is when they're like climbing up the bamboo, and like
Yes.
Jackie Chan's character is like trying to climb up, and Chris Tucker looks up and he goes, "I'm all right. I'll take the stairs." And like so he goes like that.
You know who don't do that? Us. We don't do that.
Yeah.
No thanks.
He's like, "I'm good," and then but still ends up like they still end up like falling off of this bamboo thing because Hu Li, which is played by Zhang Ziyi, also famous for like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or House of Flying Daggers. 2 great films. She ends up kicking them and they end up falling off the roof. And he goes, "I can't believe I flew 10,000 miles for this shit." And, like they fall. Like that shit is so funny.
I think what's so funny is because in the second one, aren't they there for vacation? And it's like, JK, we're now it's business. Now it's back to work. And the entire film, I feel like Chris Tucker's character is just like, "I'm on vacation, man. What are we doing?"
Yeah.
Like he gets tricked to going to that karaoke bar thing, being like it's for a party, and he's just like, "Are you for real, man?" Finds out it's not, and he's so pissed at Jackie Chan's character, where he's just like, "I knew you were lying to me, man."
Yeah, which also is really funny because the entire second film, Chris Tucker's speaking like bad Chinese, and so like,
when Jackie Chan's translating for him, and everyone's just laughing at it because it's like, okay, but can we get for a second? I love that dynamic of like one person speaking one language and somebody else just completely like maybe knows 1 or 2 words, but absolutely does not understand when you speak the language, because
Yeah.
I absolutely do that. People will be like, hey, because as you guys know, I speak Spanish. People will be like, "Oh, true. How do you say there?" So like, what is he saying? And I'm just like, he told you to go jump off a cliff. That's exactly what he fucking said. And it's just my favorite thing. And there's something about the dynamic between the two of them. Yes, throughout the movies, they make a lot of like, like in the massage parlor scene, Jackie Chan's character gets punched by Chris Tucker's character, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry. Y'all look the same." And
yeah.
as fucked up as that is, you know that it's not coming from a place of malice, where it's like in today's society, like you do have people who are like, "Oh, everyone's so sensitive and this and that," and it's like, bro, it's because you're coming from a place of malice. You're coming from a place of racism versus like back in the day, back in those times, that's not what the case was. It was just 2 homies getting to know each other from different cultures, and like you could throw shots like that and it not be like you're getting hate crimed, because that wasn't the case.
I mean, also that's a payback. I mean, to be completely honest, I mean, Jackie Chan's character in the first film goes, "What's up, my nigga?"
Yes,
like,
he does.
For like fucking, he says it like 6 times. So like, so I mean, come on. Like, I feel like they both in general, they both are punching at each other.
Yes, but it's not like like I said, it's not from a place of malice. Like, genuinely, because you in the scene that you're referring to where he says that, it's at the bar, and literally Chris Tucker's character goes, "Follow my lead. Do what I do."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so how many times does he hear him say that before he's like, okay, so I can say that. Like, I can do that because he literally told me to follow his lead. You know what I'm saying? It's not as if he's just going up here like, yeah.
Yep. And also Jackie Chan, to switch gears a little bit, Jackie Chan does all his stunts. Like, he does all of them.
It's my favorite thing about him.
And all the fight scenes, like, he's doing it. There's no stunt doubles. Like, when he's jumping off of buildings or jumping over buildings, there's no stunt doubles. That's all him. When he's jumping out of cars, that's all him. Like, the fact that Jackie Chan is so talented that he just is able to just do all of that in all of his movies. He does all the stunts in all of his movies.
I'm really convinced
It's
that
just
that's why
so
my
much
dad
talent.
admired the man so much. I really do think that's why. Because, like, there's something so fucking badass about that. Like, bro, you're doing your own stunts. Like, how do I do that? What do I need to do in order to get to the level that you are at? Let's be so fair.
And Jackie Chan, even though he does, like, English is not his primary language, his comedic timing is pretty good.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
His comedic, like, he knows his comedy. But also, I remember watching growing up. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but if you haven't, I highly encourage that everybody listening, including you, True, because I'm pretty sure you haven't seen it, to watch it. You have to watch Drunken Master 1 and 2.
Bitch,
Like,
what the fuck is that?
Drunken Master is like, if you like, True, you like silly animes. So if you like silly animes, you'll love Drunken Master 1
Why'd
and
you
2.
say it like that? What you mean by that?
Because you like silly animes.
What you mean by that? Why'd you say it like that?
Because you like silly animes.
I don't know. It just seems a little pointed, but whatever.
But Jackie Chan his comedic timing is great, and I can see how that he translates that from, like, his primarily Chinese films, Hong Kong films, and then it transfers to his English speaking roles that he has, and, like, he's done a bunch of comedies like Shanghai Nights and Shanghai Days or whatever those films were with what's his name? Wilson? What's his name? You know what I'm talking about? The dude with the crooked nose.
Oh, Owen Wilson.
Owen
Ooh,
Wilson, yeah.
that man
He has
fine.
films with Owen Wilson. But I think that Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan have way better chemistry, I feel,
Oh, yeah.
throughout the films. But yeah, but
But
Jackie
I think a
Chan
reason for that
is
is
a
because of
franchise
Chris
guy.
Tucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jackie Chan is a franchise guy. So is Chris Tucker. I think they built such a strong franchise that, like, and strong characters that you just know these characters. You know that, like, sometimes Jackie Chan's character is gonna be the straight guy, but also he's unserious, and Chris Tucker is the pinnacle of unserious the entire time, and, like, makes jokes, and you know, he's gonna break the ice a little bit, like, especially like when he was on the first one when he's, like, talking on the phone, and this amount of money, or we're gonna kidnap, or we're gonna kill the little girl. He was like, "Who you think you kidnapped? Chelsea Clinton?" And, like, and, like, I was like, "Come on, bro!" Like,
yeah.
like, that's so funny. And he thought, like, the other funny part is that he thought that he was really working for the FBI the whole entire time, but really he was like, the FBI was like, "Oh, he's a lackey," and so he was, like, taking care of Jackie Chan's character the entire time. And, like, when they first meet, he's supposed to be taking Jackie Chan around, and he's supposed to be showing Jackie Chan Hollywood, and then Jackie Chan, like, ends up, like, on a tour bus, like, running away from Chris Tucker's character, and, like, and Chris Tucker is, like, so overwhelmed by, like, everything, and so he's, like, trying to chase this man, and then, like, he finally catches him, and then, like, handcuffs him to the steering wheel, and Jackie Chan's character, Detective Lee, takes the steering wheel off the car, and so now he can't.
So
And
now,
so now
you lost
now
him
Carter
and you
can't drive, and you can't drive. So now you gotta. I think you called a taxi to get to get back to the headquarters. That was so funny. Like,
I mean,
that-
I just feel like he's just a real
Yep.
a real funny guy, man. He's just a real funny guy.
But let's talk about some of the other memorable characters from the film. So we, of course, like we talked, we have your favorite character and one of my favorite characters. We have Zhang Ziyi, who plays Hu Li, who is, like, the crazy Chinese assassin type character.
The badass.
She's
the
a badass
bitch,
character.
The baddest
Like, when
bitch.
she was- Like one of my favorite scenes I used to watch as a kid all the time is when Rosalind Sanchez, Isabella Molina, we're gonna talk about her too, but like when her character is like eating the apple, and she said, "You should watch how you're talking to me, bitch," or something like that. And Zhang Ziyi's character like throws the knife and it lands on the apple. Oh, that's so badass.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so badass. Like, cause she was like, "Bitch, I can hit you if I really want to." Like,
don't test
like,
me. Don't test me.
I could really kill you if the only reason I keep you around because I wasn't assigned to kill you yet. Like basically, that like the whole subtext of that conversation was like, apple, like, oh, that was it's so good.
Warning
And then,
shots.
yep. And so then you have John Lone, who plays Ricky Tan, who his character had twists and turns all over. You thought he died, and then he comes back. You think that, like, spoiler alert, even though this film is like from 2004, go watch the film. What are you talking about? But Ricky Tan, he's manipulative to Detective Lee. He's manipulative to the entire FBI. He's manipulative to everyone around him. Even what's his name? David Rain, who is the head of the casino. Like he's manipulative to everyone around him, and so it was crazy.
What a red
And then
flag. I could fix it.
Yep. I said, sounds like true type. Especially after this week. But
I hate you.
But so then you have Rosalind Sanchez, who plays Isabella on the second one, and she's so hot. She's so sexy. She's just so. Also, I used to call her when I was younger the Latina Sandra Bullock because she looks eerily like Sandra Bullock.
I see it.
She looks so much like Sandra Bullock. It's like I was like, honestly, I don't understand why they didn't have like a movie with them two, like being like long lost sisters or something, like a comedy. Because someone needs to write that. All right, I'm gonna write it.
But like, write it.
But I love the character when they were in the they were spying on her to see what she was up to, and she's like taking her clothes off, which is
the Snoopy tattoo.
he's like Snoopy, but like Jackie Chan's character is like, come on, baby. and Chris Tucker's like, wait, what are we talking about here? Like what? She said, and like he's like, and then he like sees it through the window. He's like, oh, Victoria's Secret catalog so and so. She got good taste. Like
I cannot.
like I told you, so serious. And then from the first one, you have Ken Lewin, who plays Sang, who plays like one of the main protagonists. That when he's like the one that they're chasing the most, who they think is like doing all the work, but really it was who plays Jun Tao, who is like who's behind the scenes, who's the one that is like giving all the C4 or like getting all the C4 to blow up places and steal the Chinese artifacts. And so Ken Leon, who's Sang, is like his henchman who like does all his dirty work, who's like the face of all this, and then he like you're bleeding, or like when he goes when they're like chasing him through the city, and they're chasing him through all the abandoned buildings, and he like kicks them and like all that stuff. Do you remember who I'm talking about, True?
Yes, I do.
Okay, yeah. So I told you, he was so hot. He's I remember just having a really big crush on him growing up, and I was like, why do I got all these feelings? What are these feelings? But apparently,
what is this?
I'm a sucker for bleach blondes. I became a bleach blonde. So
listen. It starts at a young age. Okay.
It starts at a young age, and then in the first one, you also have Elizabeth Pena, who is the Latina character. This is a really diverse movie franchise.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of different characters, a lot of like black people, a lot of white people, a lot of Latinas, a lot of Chinese and other Asian folks, And so this is a really diverse movie, but she plays Johnson, who is the bomb.
She was part of the bomb squad. She was also like one of the characters that she was the only one in the precinct who didn't have a partner. Chris Tucker's character Carter refused to like work with her because he worked alone. But she actually was the one who de-bombed, like when Soo Young was strapped in the bomb. She was the one that actually like deactivated the bomb, saved her life.
Push the fucking button.
Saved her life.
She's like, with her little raspy voice, push the button.
It was also hinted that like she had like romantic feelings for Carter.
Yeah, but I'm also glad they didn't lean into that as much.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad because they leaned into like a little bit of the romance between, because honestly they don't, and through the film they have like romantic moments.
Yeah.
The first and the second one. So, but they don't have like romantic love interests to where as though it's only about their love. They have to find the love at the end.
Yeah.
Even at the end of the second one, they're in the airport. We're still figuring things out. You know what I mean? It's not like we're in love and the ending ends with like a heart shadow and like a fade. You know what I mean? Like
it was very much like this is still an action movie about two cops from different parts of the world who are kind of the culture clashes. The coming together of these two different people and how they can still work together. Which again, I feel like that's just one of my favorite things. I like the idea of having leads that aren't white, and that's not to like, we've already seen that movie. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like make it a them versus us kind of thing. It's just nice to see yourself on screen.
Representation matters.
Representation matters, and I think that's probably why these films just are so, they hit home. It just makes you want to, like you said, it's a comfort movie. Seeing yourself on the screen is so important because you're just like, oh shit, and it's good, it's funny, and it's not the typical of like the struggle of being Latino, another slave movie. It's just like, bro, two people in society who have good jobs, and are
good
funny,
ones.
And are funny.
But also, is it? I mean, how was it? I guess like, like seeing like the Latina character in the movie.
Now, it definitely hits different because growing up, I feel like there wasn't enough talk about that. Right? It wasn't something that like registered in my head as like. The significance to me hits me now than it did back then. And like now when I create art, when I create things, I have that intent of like, there's a child who's going to see this and I need them to see it so that they could see that like, we're not just the stereotypical thing that they expect us to be, She was a bomb squad trainee. That's like badass to like work with bombs. Yeah. Like, you could really fuck that up. She also inspired me when I was a kid, like I'll be like trying to cut the wires when we playing like pretend. Yeah.
He'd be like, don't cut the red wire. You cut the blue wire. And she was like, that scene is so intense where she's like, red, green, blue. And she goes like, here goes nothing. And then she cuts it and it deactivates. It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I kind of wish that authenticity we still had. Because I'm trying to think of like films today that give you that same emotion. And I just can't think of any. And maybe that just could be me and my brain, because you know how my brain be working. But I just...
one last character I gotta mention is Clifton Powell, who played Luke. And Clifton Powell is the dude with the red suit when they walk into the bar. It's like
yes. His cousin?
Yeah.
Isn't it his cousin?
Yeah, his cousin. So like Chris Tucker like pretends that
he's being a fucking cop. And
he's like busting
him.
Jackie Chan's character closes the door behind him, and he goes, "Oh man," he's like, "Get your hands off of me. Your mama gave you this suit."
or when he's just like, "Why weren't you at church on Sunday?"
Yeah. that was so funny. Like, it's also really funny that you show. I mean, because it also shows like Carter's like flaws. Like, he's not the cleanest cop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's just like a guy just trying to get around
he's
things.
Like, bro, I'm trying to get through.
Trying to live this life. But yeah, that scene for me was also really funny. Jackie Chan kicked all their asses.
Yeah.
That whole bar scene.
When he's getting choked out and he picks up the bar stool with his feet and swings it back.
Yeah, like
I'm like,
that's
boy.
crazy. But yeah, and then while Chris Tucker is just in there just talking to to Luke, who is Clifton Powell, to talking to him, and it's like trying to figure out stuff and trying to figure out who Juntao is, because he like knows that he at least he got his ear to the street. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Kind of finds out a little bit of information, you know. But also Don Cheadle is in the movie. In the second one, they try to bust the illegal gambling or the legal. He gives them fake money, or like he shows them that it was fake money. He like burns and it burns red. Jackie Chan's character and Don Cheadle's character, they realize they both like trained in the same like Chinese martial arts, and so they start talking. Do you remember that scene?
No, I'm trying to remember. Like, motherfucker was in that film.
Yeah, Don Cheadle was in the film. Don Cheadle has been in a lot of films. You'd be like, where are you coming from? But
right,
yeah,
that's
Don
where
Cheadle
I'm like,
go just look it up really fast.
Bro, I'm literally like, so I'm watching it, and like in my memory, I can see. Yes, I've seen this image before, but I'm watching that scene. I've never seen this a day in my life.
Oh my. Oh my God.
I'm like,
have you watched the films?
Yes, I have. And I'm like watching it and I'm like, damn.
Yeah. I told you it's such good movies. You need to rewatch it.
Honestly, I just need to have a good rewatch, not just like of like what I remember and like the scenes that I enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Just like a marathon of just fucking Rush Hour, dude. A Rush Hour marathon.
1 through 2. So we can jump into why the third movie was ass.
I honestly can't even tell you what the fucking third movie was about. I can't even tell you what the third movie was about.
I recently rewatched the third movie, and it's just not, like, there's this random brother that comes about. Chief Inspector Lee just never, like, talks about throughout the other two films. And so, like, this random brother pops up. There's a somewhat love interest of, like, this French burlesque dancer who's like trying to get killed for some reason. It's like a top secret like item. She has like a tattoo or like a memory or something. The whole film was, I get where they were trying to go, but it was too much. I feel like a lot of the first and second one were like based in reality.
Yeah.
And like, even though there's like a lot of course, like overly extreme things, I think that the third one just was like not realistic enough. And so it takes you out of it. And that's why the third film is ass, and that's why we didn't talk about it in this podcast. So
I also think sometimes people get so hooked on like, okay, 1 and 2 were successful. Let's try and milk it for all that they can. And it's just like you could have just stopped where you were.
Could they though? I feel like they could have went a totally different route. I feel like they should make another Rush Hour film to correct the third one. But also they're older now. It's been a few years. What, they're like retired cop and they have to come back to the force for some reason. They have to come back together and work together. They're traveling to like another country together because they're still best friends. They have to end up like investigating something, or like end up in like unusual circumstances where they're forced to investigate something, or they see like a murder and they're part of it, and so like they have to investigate it. Like I would be persuaded to watch a fourth. And they're always in talks to do a fourth one. I know Chris Tucker has always said that he wants to do a fourth one. I know Jackie Chan has said that he's down to do a fourth one, but I think it's all in the script and it's all in like time, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I obviously wouldn't be against watching a fourth one. If they ever do one, I just hope it's done correctly.
Yeah, I hope it's, and I feel like it needs to be like the button. It needs to be like a tie. It needs to be like this is the way you end the franchise. You know what I mean? Because I always feel like franchises really never know how to end. And everything is peaceful, and everyone's in love, and everyone died, and it was all a dream. You know what I mean? The fourth one has to be like the button. They need to find, like, maybe Chris Tucker has a kid and his kid gets kidnapped or something, and Chief Inspector Lee has to help Chris get his daughter back or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something
that
only that those two can do. What is it that only those two could be the ones to do to like get this movie going? You know?
Yeah, the stakes have to be high. True, you kind of remember most of the movie, 1 and 2 at least. We're going to go to commercial, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to play some trivia.
Alrighty.
Honey, I'm home. Sorry I'm late. Spent some time with the guys from work.
Mwah! Dinner's in the freezer, dear.
In the freezer?
Yeah, I stopped by the market and got some of them meaty pops.
Meaty Pops?
Yeah, meaty pops. It's an entire dinner, but in popsicle form. Isn't it great?
Oh, You got the shepherd's pie flavor? Let's open this up and try. Delicious. Try Meat Pops today at your local market. Now in the new exciting flavors like beef stew, chicken noodle, hot dog with mustard and ketchup, and for our vegan folks, Beyond Meatloaf. All right, True. So we're back from commercial break, and I think we'll do some trivia on the first film. So that's way, way back. You might give us a surprise. You might pass. You might get 100%. You never know.
I hate taking quizzes. It's like I know it, but then it's like suddenly that pressure of like, oh shit, I gotta get this. But we're enthusiastic. We're here. We're gonna do the thing.
But you tortured me with the anime quiz.
Okay, listen. Okay, but you don't mind taking quizzes.
Yeah. All right. So question 1: what's the name of the cop that works for the LAPD? A. Chris Carter. B. James Carter. C. Mike Jones. D. Chris Brown.
B, the second one, James Carter.
What was his special case? To protect the president? To help find the little girl? To keep Lee out of the FBI's way? To record any phone calls?
C, to keep Lee out of the FBI's way.
The guy who kidnapped the little girl's name is Jun Tao. True or false?
Oh, true.
The little girl was on her way to piano lessons before she got kidnapped. True or false?
Was it piano lessons or violin lessons? I'm gonna say true. I'm gonna say true.
No pun intended.
Eh?
Who was the actor that played Carter? Jackie Chan, Denzel Washington, Bruce Lee, or Chris Tucker?
Oh, obviously Denzel Washington.
So stupid.
Nah, I'm not gonna
Oh, we all look alike to you, huh? We all look alike. So
how dare you? Hey, I'm just quoting him, okay? I'm just quoting Chris Tucker himself, okay? Yes, but no, Chris
Who was
Tucker.
the actor that played Lee? Jackie Chan, Denzel Washington, Bruce Lee, or Chris Tucker?
Bruce Lee, obviously.
Stupid. Well, we're canceled. So I'm joking. Okay.
Jackie Chan.
Carter said, wipe yourself off, man. You blank. A, ugly. B, beat. C, dead. D, bleeding.
Wipe yourself off, man, you're dead. I'm gonna say bleeding. Wipe yourself off, man, you're bleeding.
Okay. Lee got into a fight at the bar. True
Which
or false?
bar we reference? Oh, this is in the first one? Yeah, he did.
Why did Carter get suspended from the LAPD? He was messing around with a guy who had C4. He didn't show up to work all week. He shot another cop. He yelled at his boss.
Messing with the C4.
At the end of the movie, the FBI offered Carter a job. Did he take it?
The FBI offered Carter a job? Yeah, he did.
All right. So, submitting the answers. You got a 70%. Okay, that's a C.
70? Damn, what did I miss?
Let's see. The little girl.
Was it violin
Yeah,
lessons?
the little girl was on her way to piano lessons. No, she was on her way to school.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And Carter said, wipe yourself off. You're dead. Because remember, he said, oh, you're bleeding. Yeah. And so he did take the job. So that's the last one that you. But you got a 70%.
Wait, that he did. I said that he took the job. He didn't take the job? Damn.
Nope. That's why he ended up going on like vacation and chilling. Because he didn't have to take the
that
job.
makes sense. Oh, and that's why in the second one, Lee's like, you're not a cop. Like, you're not a detective right now. There's like a second word. Like, Yep. Damn.
Good. It's good. We in there. We're getting better and better at these quizzes. Let's go.
Average. Your girl's average.
I mean,
way to humble me.
listen.
You bastard.
I mean, we're all kind of average in our own way, right? But that's good. So did you have fun talking about Rush Hour? True?
I did. Honestly, like, it just gives me that warm, fuzzy feeling just because the Rush Hours are such a staple in my childhood. So yeah, 10 out of 10 do recommend. Rush Hour, if you haven't seen it, well, what are you doing? And this is something that AJ would typically say to me. What, are you living under a rock? Why haven't you seen the Rush Hour movies? Like, what? Be so for real right now.
Well, it sounds like we're at the end of our podcast. So see you guys next time. And True.
See you guys next week.
I think they should follow us on Instagram and what else?
Follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow our Spotify so you can get notified every time we drop an episode. Get those notifications on, baby.
Click the notification bell.